Coming round turn 12 now, all eyes are on the gantry. And it's time to let the race begin here at Daytona Tamworth. The second place gets an unbelievable start on the pole sitter there, getting a brilliant jump as they head through turn 2 and down to 3. What a start from the person in second place there. As we're heading down into turn 4, some switching down further in the pack. Not quite sure who that is, but they've lost 2 positions there, dropping themselves down all the way back to around about 10th place. That car is really dropping, not quite sure what's going on there. But as we're coming round the turn 6, second place tries to make a dart back in front of regaining their pole. But look at this, right behind him, 3 wide. Ashley King is stuck in the middle of that little battle there as we head round into turn 9 and 10. They are side by side, second place, and can King take advantage of this as we're coming up to turn 11? Not quite, it's single file, but just behind it's 2 wide with the carts of 114, I believe there. Probably my eyesight wrong, but let's see as they cross the line. We have a 124, has a 5-second penalty. I'll let you know what cart that is in just a second. 124, I believe that's Simon Fulton, has a 5-second penalty. Your running order so far is Ross Sandwell, Tom Duffy, Alex Hay, Ashley King, Carl Bannister, Ian Wilson, Samuel Bennett, Simon Fulton, who's got a 5-second penalty, Colin Marshall, John Paragon, Anthony Deverill, Kyle Simmons and Ash Chivers. Alright, let's look back at the track, see if any moves have been made. I can see Ian Wilson is right up in the pack now. He was down in 6th place, but he's got a 3-way battle going on for 4th place, and he's managed to make his way, I think that is to 5th place there. Ian Wilson on the back of Ashley King. Your front runners though are staying the same. Ross Sandwell trying to build that gap as 2nd and 3rd are starting to have a right old battle. It's what you expect from Alex Hay, who's the current leader in the championship, previously at Warden Lord. They head across the line, it's a 0.5-second gap between Tom Duffy and Ross Sandwell, and as they cross the line, I believe Ian Wilson did manage to make that move on Samuel Bennett there, so it goes Ian Wilson in 5th, Samuel Bennett in 6th, Colin Marshall in 7th, Carl Banson dropped down to 8th place, then John Paragon down in 9th, and Simon Fulton managed to make a position, however he doesn't have that 5-second penalty. 2 wide behind Ian Wilson there, Samuel Bennett going wide and Colin going down the inside. Can they retain the position? But however, what is this? Down at turn 9, we've got a car completely stalled and stopped on track. The yellows must be out. No overtaking through the final section of track. It looks like an argument is going on between the marshal and the car. Let's see what happens as they come round to turn 12. We do have penalties though for 106 and 107. So 106 I do believe is Ashley King and 107 is Samuel Bennett. Lots of penalties on this race. Another headache for me as I don't have a pen to write them down. As they head into turn 4, it looks like the gap between Tom Duffy and Ross Sandwell in 1st is starting to get a little bit larger. It's about 0.7, which it was about 0.3 the lap before. However, right behind him, Alex Hay is only 0.3 of Tom Duffy, so he's managed to close in that gap there. And Ian Wilson is all over the back of Ashley King there, and Ashley King also has that 5-second penalty. And through goes Ian Wilson. He's on the outside. Can he stick it round? He can't. He tries to set up the switchback. James King is defending for his life. Ian Wilson has a little peek down the inside as we head into turn 11. He's on the back of his bumper. Can he make a move going into turn 12 here? He's just going to stick onto that bumper. He doesn't need to. We've got a spin. We've got a spin driver in the pink and blue. I do believe that is called 108. That is John Paragon facing wrong. And we've got another spin at turn 12. There's something appearing on track because it seems to be a recurring theme here, but that's 121, which is the driver is Kale Simmons. Did anyone throw a banana? Anyway, let's look back at the front of the grid. The gap is about even between 1st and 2nd and 2nd and 3rd. It's about half a second between both of them. But 2nd place on this lap, it's looking like he's closing in. I believe that is the driver, Tom Duffy, trying his best to get an advantage. And what is going on? He's absolutely chowed down that gap on those last few corners. Tom Duffy is all over the back of Ross Sandwell. what has happened on those last few corners from Ross Sandwell as they head down the straight with a 110. No contact. That's Carl Bannister getting a warning there. But as we look over at turn 3, Tom Duffy is stuck right to the bumper. Only 0.3 now between him. That's 2 tenths he's gained on 1 lap. And look, under brake, and he goes so much tighter. He can see there's an opportunity here. He can see that there's a time to pounce. And as he comes up into turn 6, he tries to go around the inside. He just manages to make it stick. However, on the exit, Ross Sandwell still has the inside line coming round to turn 7. And look who's joined the party. It's Alex Haig as we come round into turn 9 now, into 10. Three-way battle for the lead. Ross Sandwell all over the back. Well, Ross Sandwell's out in front. It's Tom Duffy who's all over the back of Ross Sandwell, and Alex Haig is all over the back of Tom Duffy. Can they keep this going? Oh, and what is this? An absolute squeeze from Ross Sandwell down. They start finish straight, which is really going to put Tom Duffy off his line. So hopefully Alex Haig can take advantage of this as they start heading into turn 3. He just can't. However, Tom Duffy is eyeing up the overtake. Can he make it? He dives. He does. He gets the overtake as they're now heading into turn 5. Tight gaps here, 0.1 between the two drivers. Wow. And as we head into turn 6, he tries to fight back, but he does it. But it looked like a little bit of contact. Is that an ABC? We'll have to wait and see on the board. It looked like there was a little bit of contact from the drivers there as they went round that turn. But it's 4-way battle now for the lead. But remember, Ashley King does have a 5-second penalty. We're waiting to see on the gantry if there's any sort of penalty coming. I don't want to, encourage the race directors here in the commentary box, but that definitely looked like there was a bit of contact, and it's too wide going into the first corner, and oh my gosh, 0.08 between Alex Haig and Tom Duffy, and it's 3 wide going into the third turn, and they just managed to make it through. And in first now, Ross is able to pull away with Tom Duffy just managing to hold it in there. 3 wide into turn 3 when you're going around about 65 miles an hour. It's not something you want to be doing in these D-Max cars. Absolutely incredible from the drivers there. And it looked like there wasn't any contact as well. This has allowed the Ross Sandwell to pull away from this pack behind. James King is in third, and Alex Haig is who made it through in all that battling there. And Ian Wilson, where did you come from, my friend, has jumped in on the scene, and right behind him there is also Carl Bannister. What an absolutely brilliant battle we've got going on here. 107 has got a warning for track limits. That's Samuel Bennett there. Let's run through your order real quick because gosh, this has been quite the race, hasn't it? Just let's go Ross Sandwell, Alex Haig, Ashley King, Tom Duffy, Ian Wilson, Carl Bannister, Samuel Bennett, Colin Marshall, Simon Fulton, Anthony Deverell, John Paragon, Kyle Simmons and Ash Chivers. Oh, where is my foot? Okay, so out in front it's now a second gap between Ross and the rest of the pack there. Thank you very much. I see Matthew is starting to run away, so I appreciate you're going to go get me some water. But right behind, wow, no wonder I'm gasping for air. Look how tight this is with King and Alex Haig there, trying his best to get around. Remember, King does have a 5-second penalty, so he really needs to get out of this pack and start getting through. And as they cross the timing loop, is that a bigger gap for Ross there? It is. It's now around about a second, but it's only 0.3 between Ashley and Alex Haig there. I believe Alex Haig has also just got a 5-second penalty. Wow, I completely lost track of how many penalties there are in this race. But if Alex Haig stays in that pack, he will not be finishing in that second place. It will drop him down to around about 7th position. Ay. As my colleague gives me a massage. So I'm on my back, just for commentary. We head round into turn 11. Ross manages to keep that lead, but right behind him, Alex Haig is trying his best to hold everyone off, and he's going to drop so many positions if he can't break this toe. With only 2 minutes remaining, there's not much Alex Haig can do, but right behind him, Ashley King also has a 5-second penalty, which is brilliant news for Tom Duffy, unless he has a 5-second penalty that I don't know about, which he very much could at this point in this race. But have I seen this right? Is that gap getting closer to first place? It was over a second a lap ago, but right now it's a lot smaller than it was before. Thank you very much, Matthew. As they head round into turn 5 or 7, they go into 8, and that gap is very much closing. Alex is really trying to rein it in here. With James on his case, he needs to try and break this toe if he's got any chance of finishing in a decent position. But also, Ashley has that 5-second penalty. Also, and down the inside on Ian Wilson goes Cole Bannister. Can he make it stick? He does. I don't think Ian will be very happy about that. As there's 2 minutes remaining on the timer, Ian drops down into 6th position there. We'll do a little bit of a running order. You've got Ross out in front, Alex, Ashley, then we've got Tom Duffy, Carl Bannister, Ian Wilson, Colin Marshall, Samuel Bennett, Simon Fulton, John Paragon, Anthony Deverill, Ash Chives, who's just made up a position on Kyle Simmons, and that is your running order. That gap to first really is closing in, but the back behind is starting to spread out a little bit. That'll be good for all the muffling contact warnings and the race directors. They can breathe for about 30 seconds until we get to this final lap, which is going to be absolutely titanic, as I do believe Carl Bannister is eyeing up an overtake here. He's gaining on Tom Duffy. And there it is. He's gone for it. He just doesn't manage to make it stick. He tries to go in the switchback. He's getting squeezed the barrier. He's not too happy about it. Is he going to go down the inside? He does on the last lap. Manages to get through. And right behind him, Ian Wilson is trying to tag along for the fun, but just can't manage to make it stick. Out in front, Ross Sandwell is starting to run away with it, but can Ashley King and Alex Hay do anything with their own battle? Remember, they've got a 5-second penalty, so they will drop down the order to round about 8th and 7th, but it's very important for championship points there as he goes for an overtake. It just doesn't quite stick from King, but they're much better at this point now just to stick behind each other, because right behind them is a gaggle of cars ready to pounce on them if it all starts to go wrong, which they very much do not want to happen. What has just happened there? Ian's hand is in the air. I don't know if that was an apology, but the driver of 101, Colin Marshall, drops down the order, and that is checkered. So I will read out the order to you without penalties, because I have completely lost track. Wow, we started the day with no penalties, but finishing them with about 5 drivers with them. So on track, we had Ross Sandwell in first, Alex Haig, then Ashley in second and third, but they both have penalties. Carl Bannister, then we got Tom Duffy, Ian Wilson, Colin Marshall, Samuel Bennett, Simon Fulton, John Paragon, Anthony, Ash Chives, Kyle Simmons. There's definitely more penalties in there, so that probably is in the order.
So I'm joined by race winner Ross Sandwell. Ross, how was that? I can't. Hang on. That's his Crawley fan club. Anyway. Joined by Ross Sandwell, if you haven't already noticed. Our race winner. Ross, how was that race?
Perfect, really, start to finish. I mean, I wasn't exactly the quickest of people, but, you know, I got the start right, and that was pretty much it. Just had to kind of white line it a little bit. But, yeah, no, I'm really happy, but just wish the pace was a bit more there.
Well, good clean laps, and he broke away when everybody else started killing each other. So, well done, and you're a race winner today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.